slowly, each word cutting through my sister's fake mask. Then prove you deserve what you've been given. Start by paying the mortgage. No response. Another week passed in silence until one Monday morning, while I was sipping coffee in my kitchen, my phone buzzed with a transfer request. Exactly $2,900 from my mom. No message, just a cold withdrawal request, as emotionless as the way they'd written me out of everything. I hit decline without a second's hesitation. Minutes later the phone rang. It was Mom. I let it ring to the fourth buzz, then declined the call. A message followed immediately. Hannah, I know you saw it. Why did you decline? I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and replied, because it's no longer my responsibility. Asked Samantha. For the first time in my life, I felt like I had control. I wasn't the one scrambling to fix cracks I didn't create. I wasn't sacrificing my entire youth to patch up other people's failures. 3 days later, Samantha texted again. You're being so selfish. Didn't you always say family comes first? I reread that message over and over. Family. The family she was talking about was the same one that treated me like an outsider, like a walking wallet. I replied with one sentence. Family is about fairness and respect, not using someone until they were no longer useful. After that, there were no more messages. Silence settled over everything, but this time it didn't feel lonely. It felt like relief, a release from a burden I'd carried for far too long. But deep down I knew this silence was only the beginning, because they'd be back when no one else would help, when the house was at risk of foreclosure, when Samantha, with all that inheritance, still wouldn't know how to pay a bill on time. And when that moment came, I'd be ready not to save them, but to show them that I was no longer the one who would sacrifice without so much as a thank you. The next message from Samantha came near midnight, while I was halfway through a historical novel and sipping hot tea. The phone lit up, and I didn't even need to open it to guess the tone. You're blowing this way out of proportion. I scrolled and kept reading. Everyone's already stressed out. Why are you choosing now to be dramatic? It's just a few payments you've always donated. A dry laugh slipped from my lips without any humor at all. Just a few payments. Easy to say when you've never paid a utility bill in your life. I typed back, I'm not being dramatic, I'm being clear, and you better get used to it. Less than a minute later, she replied, you're seriously selfish. Don't be surprised if Mom and Dad don't forgive you. I set the phone down. For the first time in years, I didn't feel guilty. I wasn't haunted by what if they're upset or obsessed with being the good daughter. I had crossed the line between being exploited and standing up for myself. The next day, I called the bank and requested my name be removed from the joint account used for the money. She would have realized there was a reason for my actions, but it didn't matter anymore. She then mentioned the new guy at her employment. I said his name before she could, and she was astonished, wondering how I knew. I assured her that I was not an idiot. I noted how she abruptly stopped talking about him after constantly bringing him up. She said she'd never cheated on me. I said that hunting for someone better at the first hint of difficulties may be considered cheating by some. At that point, I informed her I did not want to hear anything else she had to say. It didn't matter if she wanted to reconcile. I was ending my relationship with her regardless. The split left me extremely hurt. I couldn't bear being in the same town, so I requested my employer for a move and used the money I'd saved for the project to start over in a new city. While speaking with Emily, the friend I had previously vented to, she apologized to me. She stated that she had made a mistake by informing Sarah about my plans to propose and purchase a home. Emily stated. Sarah burst into tears after hearing that. Emily's candor was welcomed, but it did not influence the outcome. By mid-December last year, I had returned to my hometown to celebrate Christmas and New Year's with my family. Some friends wanted to throw a party to bring everyone together, because many of us, including myself, had moved away and were only returning for the holidays. Sarah also received an invitation. We barely spoke that night, just a short hi in passing. I glanced at her and noticed her smiling while speaking with a group of women. That smile recalled so many memories. I realized that seeing her smile made me feel exactly the same way I felt the first time I saw it. I wondered to myself, how screwed up am I that I still feel this way despite those residual emotions? I was still saddened and extremely upset by the way things had ended. Looking back, I've started to resent myself. I should have paid closer attention to how she felt. I could have informed her about the additional work and why I was doing it. Perhaps things could have turned out differently later that evening. One of my friends revealed that Sarah's relationship with the guy at work had only lasted a few months. After the holidays, I intended to return to the city where I now dwell. My vacation ended on January 6th, so I planned to go on Friday. That way I'd have Saturday to tidy up at home and prepare for the week ahead, and Sunday to unwind before returning to work. Before I'd parted, one of my buddies from home contacted me. He stated he had a favor to request on behalf of someone else and warned me that I would not like it. I could already feel my stomach dropping. He then told me it was Sarah. She was moving to the city where I lived to work for a relative's company, and she needed a ride. He asked if I could take her. I didn't think about it before saying no. The thought of being locked in a car with her for hours was too much to take. It would have been excruciatingly embarrassing, just like the party, and I wasn't prepared to put myself through it. Insisted that Sarah and I talk.